Digging for Words. Jose Alberto Gutierrez and the Library He Built. Written by Angela Burke-Kunkel and illustrated by Paola Escobar. I love when the end pages are decorated too. There's our title page, Digging for Words. And we have the dedication right here. To my family, thank you for the writing time. I love you. And to Jose Alberto Gutierrez for sharing his love of books with the children of La Nueva Gloria. And to the students of Truman Middle School for allowing me the same privilege. And for my love, Alejandro, thanks for filling our house with books. The first one was from the author and the second one was from the illustrator. In the city of Bogota, in the barrio of La Nueva Gloria, there lived two Jose's. There are two Jose's. It still seems a little dark. Let me see if we can make it a little brighter. Little Jose stirs in his bed. The early morning light wakes him. He was dreaming of paradise. It is Friday, he realizes with a sigh. Almost Saturday. Until Saturday, he can ride his bike to school. He can sit and listen to Maestra as best he can. He can play football with his friends. The day stretches out before him like the streets, like the hills. Tomorrow, a wish he knows will come true. In the same neighborhood, a few streets away, another Jose understands long days too. He left school as a boy, his mama unable to afford it, and went to work as a bricklayer, digging earth with his hands, placing brick after brick until nothing became something. A wall, a building, a home. Still, he read with his mama every night. Un cuento at the end of a long day felt like paradise. Now, in the early evening light, as the first Jose rides his bicycle home, his mama calling for dinner, the second Jose gets ready for work. He prepares his garbage truck for his route through the wealthier neighborhoods of Bogota. The engine rumbles to life. The headlights cut through the dark. Jose is a garbage man, and he collects la basura, the trash, from the streets of the city. He works all night until the sun comes up. Jose scans the sidewalks as he drives, squinting in the dim light. He searches the household trash for hidden treasure. Books. Some are stacked in neat piles as if waiting for Jose. Others take a bit more digging. Jose doesn't mind. He digs now because of El Primero Libro, the first book found long ago. When Jose first began working as a garbage collector, he spotted a thick novel in the trash, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. He dug it out and read it again and again, always opening to a faraway time and place full of steam trains, ballrooms lit by candlelight, sleighs gliding through the snow. He found other books and read those too. Each was different, each its own world to discover. That's how I feel about books too, boys and girls. Finally, Senor Jose is finished with his route. The garbage truck winds its way through the wide streets, back to the more crowded part of the city, back to the garage. In the cab next to him, because it is precious cargo, rides a stack of almost 50 books. Thin, thick, worn, almost new, it is a stack, making a journey to join other stacks. An encyclopedia of animals A to Z, a book of fairy tales, a long novel well loved. They all ride home next to Jose, their pages vibrating with the rumble of the engine. See him? Jose walks home from the garage. He pauses on the step to unlock the door, bouncing the books in the crook of his arm. A few pages to read, a few hours to dream, and then it is a new day. Tonight he revisits Macondo, a magical village deep in the jungles of Colombia, and he is lost in a place where time moves by its own rules. At last it is Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. Little Jose's legs carry him as fast as they can. As he runs through the neighborhood, other children join him. It's like a race, but they all win. His feet touch the step of paradise at last. Senor is waiting to greet them, smiling as he does every Saturday. Jose enters paradise to find stacks and stacks of books. Stacked like the homes of their neighborhood, libros rescued by Senor Jose. Everywhere, every corner is stuffed with them. Picture books for niños, classic stories thick with elegant covers, big textbooks heavy with their complicated subjects. Jose stays a long time traveling among the high stacks, afraid to disturb them, hesitant to dig. Senor comes to find him. He holds up a book and smiles. Senor sits. Jose sits. The barrio quiets. The book opens. It opens to a place beyond the barrio, a place Jose cannot ride his bicicleta to. With each turn of the page, both Jose sees something new, something different from the same streets and hills. Digging leads to more digging. At last, little Jose makes his own selección with a nod and a shy smile and a gracias to the señor. And he's off, his feet flying back home. His hands flying through chores, through dinner, through washing his face and behind his ears, so he can climb into bed and inspect his new libro and devour the cuenta inside. Even warmer and more satisfying than his dinner. In the early morning light, little Jose stirs in his bed. The book is tucked under his pillow. He devoured it again in his sueños, dreaming of a lonely planet, a flower, a boy, a fox, the journey they make. It is Sunday, he realizes with a sigh. He has to wait again, a whole week. Waiting in bed for the sun to rise, waiting for his friends to come and play, waiting once again for Saturday, waiting for Senor to open his doors where the libros sit, waiting on their shelves, waiting for Jose to find them. And here's an author's note at the back. It says, over 10 million people live in the city of Bogota, Colombia. There are only 19 libraries. There was no library in La Nueva Gloria barrio until 2000, when Jose Alberto Gutierrez took matters into his own hands. A lifelong Bogota resident, Gutierrez is a former garbage collector who is known as the Lord of the Books. Early in his career, Gutierrez found a discarded copy of Anna Karenina on his route. He describes that discovery as the little book that set the flame and this snowball that never stopped rolling. Today, in addition to running his library, Gutierrez directs the foundation he established, La Fuerza de las Palabras, or the Strength of Words, which provides reading material to schools, organizations, and libraries across Colombia. His efforts have earned worldwide recognition, including features in the Colombian newspaper El Tiempo and U.S. News and World Report, on BBC News, and more. Gutierrez has also addressed global audiences twice at the Guadalajara International Book Fair and at the Austrian Literacy Association's annual conference. Gutierrez himself went back to school in his 50s. It took him 3 years to earn his high school diploma, but in building his library, he empowered himself as well as others. Lots of people mocked me, he says. They would laugh when they found out about my project, but now, 20 years later, they are amazed. My dream is to exchange my garbage truck for a truck full of books and travel the country. I am sure I will pull it off. And there's some pictures of Jose and his books. And then there's some other books that you could look at. It says, while researching this story, I came across several references to books that have been especially meaningful to Senor Gutierrez. The following are showcased in the illustrations. So there's that first book that he found, Anna Karenina, which is by Leo Tolstoy. It's a novel about an upper-class woman who feels trapped by her everyday life. The book is set in 19th century Russia, a time and place quite different from modern Colombia. And another book was 100 Years of Solitude by Nobel Prize-winning Colombian author Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Is the multi-generational story of the Buendia family and their lives in the isolated village of Macondo. It's an example of magical realism in which events mirror everyday life, with the exception of some fantastical and often unexplained elements. And then the book young Jose reads at the end is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's novel, The Little Prince. It was first published in 1943, and it is considered a children's classic, featuring a young explorer who visits Earth after living alone on a tiny planet no bigger than a house. Also, a complex allegory, the story mirrors the author's experiences leading up to World War II and explores larger questions about love and the meaning of life. So those were 3 books that were talked about or shown in here, in case you thought, well, I wonder what that one is. So, Digging for Words, Jose Alberto Gutierrez and the Library He Built.